welcome back to another episode of Pause the Punch, and I'm joined by British welterweight Mikey the Problem. How you doing, man?
Very well. I'm very well, mate. Thank you.
Doing very well. You know what? Let's get straight into it. Big fight coming up. You versus Chris Kongo. How did it come about?
How did it come about? It was a bit of a collision course, really. I made a little bit of noise straight after my last fight. The one name I came out of the ring, the one name that I called out straight away is Chris Kongo. I knew that he would be up for the fight anyway. We're both avoided. I'm very avoided, and he's really had a bit of bad luck with getting fights, and fights falling through and that. So I knew he would definitely fight me. He chose a different, he had another option in December. I was ready to fight him in December, but he had a different option. That fell through. And then my management team called me last week and said, he wants it. We've got it done. So I'm over the moon, all smiles my end, because it's a fight that I wanted. So he says it's a fight that he wanted too. And since it's been announced, the British public have really, really been interested in it and given both of us really the credit that we deserve, because two unbeaten guys in Britain, we don't need to fight each other really, but we're both hungry. We both think we're the best in the UK, so we're getting on against each other.
Yeah, no, I think it's the right timing. I think, as you said, he's been a bit unfortunate in his career where he hasn't been really getting the big fights and he hasn't been on sort of a big platform. Whereas when he had his last fight with Luther Clay, that was a big fight. And I think that sort of put his name out there. And the same with you. So I think the fight between you two is a good one. Obviously, you've got a few other big names in the division, like your Kellys and Ben, but they've got their fight scheduled now. So I think this is a perfect fight for you two.
Let's not say that Chris Kongo's done it the hard way like me, because he hasn't.
Elaborate. What do you mean?
Because he within 12 fights he's on the big star. On his 12th fight he was on the big stage as the A side really, although he was fighting Luther Clay for Luther Clay's title. He was the Dillian Whyte managed guy. He was really the A. You can argue he was the A side put straight onto that platform. So for me, I've been a pro longer than he has. I turned pro in 2014. He hasn't done it the hard way like I have, I've been a pro a lot longer than he has. I think maybe 2 years longer than he has. For my first 10 pro fights, I didn't earn a pound out of boxing. I didn't earn a pound out of boxing at all. Even then, even when I did, it was little money after that. I've had to take gambles. I've been the B side a few times before. I've been doubted a few times. I've been bet to lose against a few times. And every single time I've proved people wrong. And to get to where I am, I've done it harder than everybody else in that division, and that is a fact. So I deserve my opportunity. So I'm blessed to finally be given my opportunity and to be able to showcase my talent on a big stage. And I'm not stupid. I know this is probably the hardest fight that I can take in the UK. But I really do believe I'm a special fighter, and I do believe I'm the best fighter in the UK. And so it shouldn't matter who I fight. So yeah, I'm excited.
No, that's good news. I see you're very proud of your achievements, which is a good thing. But you said the fight's here now. You lot are on a big platform. How do you think the fight goes down? Because I don't know. You probably heard it already, but he's making comments about you getting bullied in sparring because you got a little cut under your eye. What's all of that? What's just a bit of tongue in cheek?
Listen. He needs to focus on himself. It's like I'm already in his head. I ain't had to do anything, Let him focus on himself. I haven't been beat up at all. You can't go swimming without getting wet. This is boxing. Why? Because I've got a little scraze under my eye. I've been beat up suddenly. No, it's not. That's not the case. He keeps giving these remarks. He's watching everything I do. I haven't even watched one of his interviews at all.
Why?
Like,
How
he's
comes?
irrelevant.
Do you not normally
I
like to
don't, I
watch
don't
football,
need
innit?
to. I'm focusing on myself.
Yeah, yeah.
I know who he is. All the talk's been said. Like, I've been in live interviews with him before. We've had a bit of back and forth before, but the fight's made now. I ain't got to focus on what he's got to say. Do you know what I mean? Like, all he's obsessed with me right now. He's watching everything. He needs to focus on himself because I'll see him in March.
Do you
You
know what?
know,
One
beat
thing
up
I've
in
got to say,
sparring. I ain't been beat up.
one thing I've got to say though is a few of the supporters sent in a few messages, and some people are saying your knockout record is not really high. What have you got to say about people that are questioning your punching power?
Well, if you question my punching power, look who I've fought compared to Christopher Kongo. My last 5 opponents have a combined record of 71 wins and 3 losses. Chris Kongo's last 5 opponents have 117 losses combined. You know, like I've had tough fights for the last. I've had 8 50-50 fights. You know, like I've dropped, I think, 5 of my last 7 opponents or something like that. Like people are always going to say because I've had 2 knockouts on my record that I can't punch. Let them believe that because I've done all right so far.
But,
You know, like I've fought like good fighters after good fighters, and
yeah.
as my limited punching ability been a problem in any of them fights? Has it been a weakness for me?
No, you still won
No.
the fights. Yeah, you still won the
Do
fights.
the guys I've fought and the guys I've sparred say that I can't punch? No. It's just the people that ain't been in there with me and that are watching from afar that look at my record, they think I can't punch.
So
That's the only people that think I can't punch.
if you're able to beat Chris Kongo, where would that rank in terms of your wins so far? Would you say it's your hardest fight?
Of course. This is my world title fight.
Yeah.
Like I'm not an idiot. Like I'm not. Like I've had tough fights. And like I somebody told me because they've been watching his interviews that he said something like Luther Clay is harder than all of my a better win than all of my wins. Come on, the guy's
You rate
done.
Luther Clay? Do you rate him as a fighter?
Okay. I've sparred about 100 rounds with Luther Clay before
Okay.
they fought.
Yeah.
About 18 months before they fought, probably. I'd not sparred him for. And he'd not probably won a round against me. Like, and that's no disrespect to Luther, because I've got to respect him. For somebody with limited boxing experience and limited ability, he took tough fights and he got tough wins, you know. And he didn't, like, he took gambles, so you've got to respect Luther Clay. But Michael McKinson and Luther Clay are 2 different people. And that's the only one that tried fighting back with Chris Kongo, Luther Clay. You know? Like, you can't compare my record to Chris Kongo's record because I trump it all day long, right? We know he's a great fighter, but like I'm a very, very special fighter, and people are going to see that on March 6th. I've got a better record than him. I'm more experienced than him. I've done the championship rounds a lot more times. Well, he hasn't gone into the deep, like,
rounds, yeah.
He hasn't gone into the championship rounds, and like that's when my points wins does me a favour, you know, because like I've gone into the trenches a lot of times, like, and I just haven't got my credit. I haven't got my credit yet.
What would you say wins you the fight? Because as you know, he's a bit taller than you. So how do you think the fight goes? Do you think it's a points decision?
Let's look at Chris Kongo's strengths. He's a big welterweight.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
He's tall. He's athletic. He's very quick, but very sharp and explosive. Yeah. But I'm a smart fighter. Very smart tactical fighter. You know. Like for me, how do I see the fight going? It all depends on what he's gonna. You know, it all depends on what he's gonna bring because I adapt.
You know what? As I said, I think it's going to be fireworks. I don't know if it's going to be a points decision, but I do think it's going to be fireworks. What are your final words for Chris Kongo? Because I'm assuming now you want to just get on with training. You don't want any more tongue in cheek. What are your last few words for him? Because he's been on the show before. He's probably going to see this interview. What are your last few words to tell him before you get into your proper training camp, which you're probably in already?
It will be what.
You think?
Yeah, I'm working hard. He will be watching this interview. He watches everything at the moment. You know, like I'm not too bothered. Everything's done now. The fight's made.
Yeah, it's been sealed. Yeah,
the fight's made. We don't need to do any more talking. Like, trust me, not him, but everybody else. Him, everybody. The whole of the UK's in for a shock on March the 6th. Like, there's no
and
way out now if it's done.
Not to jump the gun. After you handle business, and let's say you beat Chris Kongo, what next? Are you going to be calling out for the Bens and the Kellys, or what's your direction?
Listen, I'm gonna go over to Matchroom and beat Chris Kongo firstly. That's the only thing on my mind right now. But you think when I go over to Matchroom and beat Chris Kongo, Eddie Hearn's gonna let me anywhere near Conor Ben? No way. But you know, this is my world title fight now. Forget about everybody else. You know, I've done it the hard way. I deserve it. Now I've got to go get my victory.
Thanks for coming on Pause the Punch. Really appreciate it. The fans will be excited to see this one, and it's going to be fireworks on 6th of March.
Nice, brother. Thank you.